Greetings, Mech Warriors! I'm your host, Get Good Fox, and welcome to a quick build guide for the Warhammer. This is the classic Warhammer, the WHM-6R. What I'm going to do is send it into a battle, show you how to use the normal Warhammer first, before I go to the Mechlab, rebuild something nice for you, and then I'll send it into this exact same battle and show you how much better it's going to perform. Let's get started. Right, so let's start with a few quick thoughts about the Warhammer. If you're having trouble with this mech, don't feel bad, because honestly, it is a fairly complicated mech. The first issue is that the Warhammer has a lot of different weapons, and because it has so many, you have to mentally multitask different ranges, different firing rates. You know, when is the enemy in range for what weapon? Which weapons do you use? It's complicated. Combine that with bad heat management. This mech overheats very, very rapidly, and once you overheat, you're either going to shut down, you're going to override, or you're just going to have to stop shooting, and all of them translate into doing a lot less damage and a lot of free hits on you or free hits on your lance. Lastly, the Warhammer doesn't have the heaviest armor for its weight class, which is kind of unfortunate because it is an aggressive mech. It is intended to attack at long range and close the distance into close combat, but it's going to take a lot of damage in this role, and it doesn't really have the armor to hold up. It will fold. You're going to probably lose those really expensive PPCs in the arms, and those are some of the issues, but let's go ahead and talk about the mech stats. As for our mech stats, this Warhammer is a 70-ton heavy mech with a top speed of 64 kilometers forward, and if we put the mech into reverse, you'll see that it has a reverse max speed of 43 kilometers. Remember, an Atlas goes 44 kilometers forward, so the back pedal's not bad. As far as weapons go, we got a pair of PPCs in the arm, we have a missile launcher on the side torso, we've got a pair of medium lasers side torso. We've got a pair of small lasers side torso. And then we also have a pair of machine guns, which I have linked together in the same group. You got the machine guns right there. So, lots of weapons. And the battle begins. First up is a pair of Kintaros moving through the trees, so I can't get a clean shot. Oh, I need to put these on group fire. What am I doing? Let me change that real quick. So yeah, we want the PPCs on group fire here so that we can concentrate our damage as best as we can. The way we're going to use the Warhammer is kind of as a sort of a sniper mech, but not really. The Warhammer isn't really going to play the role very well as a sniper because it overheats too quickly. So what we will do is kind of flip the script on what the Warhammer was supposed to do. This mech is supposed to assault enemy positions and do damage, more damage as it closes closer to the enemy. We're going to flip it around though. We're going to stand back, do damage far away, and as the enemy gets closer, then we will do more damage. And that should help us keep the Warhammer a lot safer, because like I said, remember, this Warhammer cannot do everything. Like, it doesn't have the armor for it. It's just not an option. So, we have to be careful how we use our armor. We do need to protect the lance, but we can only have a few ugly battles before our armor will quickly fold on us. And round 2 is here. I am having my mechs hold fire because they will often shoot at things that are really silly, such as a dropship. I'm going to tell them to focus fire because it looks like they are aiming at those tanks, which means they're getting a little confused. Let's see if I can help them here. Once again, I can't take all the damage. I don't have the armor for it, so I'm going to do what I can to support. Changing targets to the Grasshopper. The Grasshopper's showing himself, so I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to go through the trees like this in order to try and... Oh, man. I've got to get in there and do something. Like, they are going to start focusing fire on our guys. That is not what we want. We almost have this guy onto the rifleman. Good damage there. I don't know how I get... Okay, I think that's got to be a glitch in the game. Okay, I cannot have... The rifleman cannot be allowed to focus fire on me. I am going to bail out through this wall because I'm a heavy mech. I am not going to get focus fire by that rifleman. Everyone on the other end is going to concentrate their fire on the rifleman. Let me see what I can do here. So once again, that is a great example of how I am just not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let them just gang up on me because I don't have the armor for it. Oh my God! Did he just get destroyed? I think that mech got destroyed by. So now we're dealing with. I guess we were dealing with an Igor. This is much better. I like this situation a lot more. Yes, they do have some of their own long-range weapons, but our long-range weapons easily overpower theirs, so that is fine. I wish they wouldn't advance, but whenever you command your mechs to attack, they just love to just get right on in there. Big damage on the Black Knight. Honestly, the Black Knight also kind of in a similar boat. Not the most heavily armored of mechs. As you can see, when we are able to line up... Oh, did he just shut down? Wow. Sad for him. Look at our heat, though. So this is what I'm talking about, the heat problems on the Warhammer. But we're doing really good here, so I cannot use the PPCs up close. But we can use everything else. We can use everything but the PPCs, which is perfectly fine. That's exactly what I'm going to do. If we can sink our heat down to about 60-ish, then you can pull the trigger on the PPCs, but... And here we are with the final two mechs. Looks like we've got a Cyclops. I've got a pretty good shot on him here, though. He's countering with his own missiles, which I really don't care about. Like, our armor might not be the best, but we can handle a few of those. I'm not so happy about that Wolverine on the side, though. Our armor is failing us, finally. Even this light peppering fire is becoming too much. And as a result, I'm really afraid to get in there. That's the problem with this Warhammer. I really want to get in there and help, but I'm just afraid of doing it. I'm going to lose so much. At the same time, though, I'm so useless if I do nothing. Oh my God, the mountain just blocked that AC-20. Absolutely beautiful. My lance is going to get pummeled if I don't do anything here. Maybe we can get by this. So we're losing. Our lance is taking a beating, and it's because I cannot get in here. Oh, I'm worried about taking a lot of damage myself in this situation. And that's because, like I said, this mech wants to get into close combat, but it just doesn't have the armor to do it. Oh my God, I took a risk there. Taking massive damage, doing what I can. The Cyclops is down. This guy's out for blood, though. I'm gonna try to get his arm. This is honestly not a bad result, though. For what we've got to deal with, that was not a bad result. So I lost the medium laser. The Crusader lost an arm, so that is a good bit of weapons there, unfortunately. Catapult got pretty roughed up, and the Archer got pretty roughed up. I think you can see what the problem with this mech is, though. The armor just does not support a close-range play style, and the heat really, really kills this mech's damage. Welcome to the Mechlab, Mercenaries. Here is our handsome Warhammer. Let's quickly go over the stock items. We've got 2 PPCs, 1 in each arm. Here is the SRM-6 launcher with 1 ton of ammo. That's probably enough. We got the 2 machine guns with 1 ton of ammo. Don't like the location, but 1 ton is enough. Then we got 2 medium lasers, 2 small lasers, and if you count up all the heat sinks, it's got an extra 8. But this handsome boy deserves a more effective redesign. Let me get on that. And here is the redesign. So let's talk about the big change first. Goodbye, the 2 PPCs. Hello, welcome to Large Laser Short Burst. It is a DLC weapon. You can see by that icon. That means it's Heroes of the Inner Sphere. If you don't have Short Burst Large Laser, the regular Large Laser is also good. Why that? Well, it weighs 2 tons less, so we're saving 4 tons between the 2 weapons. It seems like it does less damage, 7 damage as opposed to PPC's 10, but look at the heat. 4.1 heat versus PPC's 8 heat. This is what's going to cause it to actually do more damage, because we will not overheat very easily, and we're going to be able to use all of our weapons simultaneously. That will easily overpower the damage on the Warhammer. In addition to that, though, we have a little more long-range support, SRM-6 to LRM-10. Don't think of this weapon as like a devastating weapon. Think about this Warhammer as 1 mech in a fire support missile lance, so that LRM-10 is being added to the overall barrage. It also gives it the utility to swat down helicopters, engage things behind trees or buildings. 1 barrage of LRM-10 will destroy crummier enemies like turrets and helicopters. 2 barrages will typically kill a tank, so it's actually surprisingly useful. The LRM-10 with the large lasers will do quite a bit of damage to mechs as they approach. Now I'm going to keep the 2 machine guns, and now we can talk about the ammo. 1 ton of machine gun ammo evenly distributed across the 2 legs, 1.5 tons of LRM ammo. That should be more than enough for your typical mission. And then I'm going to take our old lasers, the medium and the small laser, and replace them all with small laser short burst. It will absolutely chew enemies up in close combat, because remember, this mech is designed to assist in the bombardment, but then beat enemies up in close combat. To make that easier, plus 112 armor from the original variant, almost maximum armor, and we only lose 1 heatsink. We have 7 instead of 8. This mech is going to be tough, it's going to do a ton of damage, it's not going to overheat easily, and it's going to be easier to use with 4 weapon groups instead of 5. Let's get into the battle. And the battle is never mind, lost. And the battle is beginning, and we can begin using our lasers at 675 meters. I'm gonna do exactly that. And the way this mech works is, like I said, we are the lead mech in a fire support lance. So what we do is stand in the front, do what damage we can, and when they get closer, we also get in there and start ripping these guys up. That is our objective. We've got more armor. That doesn't mean we're invincible. Like, do not mistake more armor as invincible. This mech isn't very fast, so we're not very good at dodging anything. However, as you can see, we are ripping this guy. This guy's getting ripped up. Look at that close-range firepower, and we did not overheat at all. All right, so this time they dropped their mechs a little bit closer. So that means this is kind of more of a little bit of a boxing match where it's their range support versus our range support. Our range support is way heavier than theirs, though, so I'm actually not too worried about that. I see that arm is pretty banged up. I might try to lance it off, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go for this right here. Big rear armor damage here. Love to see it. Right there. Got him. So in that case, we were able to exchange fire with their fire support lance, but we overwhelmed them in close combat there. So it looks like our pal is not going to be destroyed by the other leopard there, so that's fine. Now we've got ourselves the Black Knight and the Thunderbolt. Once again, we have a long-range advantage here, so we're just going to pummel them as they approach, because although, yeah, they do have some of their own fire support capabilities, it's nothing compared to ours, so we're just going to abuse them on that. Almost through the center armor of that Black Knight. Armor should fold soon. I feel like my allies are derping up slightly. Feel like they are not really barraging the enemies like they should be, because we are fire support, lads. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Come on, guys. Don't let me down on the video. Ooh, big damage there. Very happy with that. There we go. I'm through him. Now, this guy, we're just going to get into close combat, and I am just going to focus fire center torso right here. There we go. Big damage. My armor is finally wearing down. Once again, I'm not invincible. I do have better armor, but I'm not invincible. And here is the final battle. I'm going to go ahead and probably back up a little bit, because I'm starting to get a little cooked. But our lance is also pretty healthy because we did a good job of protecting them. So since we did a good job of protecting the lance, I don't really see a problem with allowing... Oh, look at that. His legs are out. I think we could leg this guy out. Yep. Let me just target his legs right there. There goes his legs. I'm gonna try to... I don't want to lose my arm. Share target identified. I'm on him, though. We're gonna let him have it. This mech doesn't have a lot of damage, but it is quite a... How does one say? A very beefy target. Like, he's got a lot of armor to chew through, unfortunately. Did a lot of damage to him. Gonna break contact before I swing around. And now I can switch to fire support. He's really gunning. It looks like the pilot is a little confused on who's the big threat at the moment. And once again, look at this. I can use my fire support options here, since I can engage this guy through the rock. Well, above the rock, really. Looking for a clean shot on him. That arm is in really good condition. Don't really want to shoot at it. Come on, Lance. You got a bunch of missiles. You can barrage them. Let's see what we got, though. So, no weapons lost there. No weapons lost there. No weapons lost there. Yeah, my mech got a little cooked, but that was my job. Remember, my job was to protect the Lance, and that's exactly what we did. I think you could see just how much more damage we were capable. Just crazy, just lasering enemies down. And we really didn't struggle with heat. Yes, sometimes we did get a little hot, but overall, when we were getting hot, the battle was ending just due to that crazy combined damage. Now, if you want to add some Lostech to this design, this is how I would do it. First, I would say that look for a better variant than the standard 6R, but what I would do is I would upgrade the large laser short burst into the ER variants. This is going to extend the range to 1,000 meters, which is quite impressive. Also, upgrade that LRM-10 so it includes the Artemis system, weighs 1 ton more, but the missiles are way more accurate. To make this build work, though, you absolutely will require double heat sinks. That's the only way you will keep up with the increased heat of the large laser short burst, the ER variant. But that's what I would do. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in for this quick build of the Warhammer. Subscribe to my channel for even more quick builds. And remember, if you want to see MechWarrior content live, I take requests and everything, you can catch me on Twitch at GetGoodFox. And if you don't like Twitch, catch the VODs that I upload to YouTube at GetGoodFox VODs, and you'll never have to miss an episode. Anyways, till next time, MechWarriors, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.